Small adjustments become big differences. One day, your income will stop growing. That's reality. There's something Buddy tells you about money. It's not the big mistakes that hurt you the most. It's the small ones, on ones that feel harmless. You think you're doing fine. You're saving. You're working. And then one day, your income stops growing, but everything else doesn't. And that's when you realize you weren't as prepared as you thought. I used to believe something very simple. If I worked hard, saved my money, and stayed out of trouble, everything would take care of itself. That belief carried me through most of my life. I worked over 4 decades. Same company, steady paycheck, slow and steady savings. I wasn't chasing wealth. I was chasing security. And for a long time, it felt like I had it. I had a home, a paid car, a retirement account that looked decent. And like many Americans, I trusted that Social Security would do the rest. But here's what I didn't understand back then. Retirement isn't just about having money. It's about how long that money can survive. When I stopped working, everything changed. Not overnight, but slowly. At first, it felt like freedom. No alarms, no deadlines, no stress. But then reality started to show up. Groceries cost more than I expected. Medical bills started appearing more often. Even basic things, like utilities and insurance, they kept going up. But my income, it stayed almost exactly the same. That's when I felt it. That quiet pressure. Not panic, but a constant awareness that every dollar mattered more than it used to. And here's the part I didn't see coming. It wasn't just about money anymore. It was about how I felt living my life. I started hesitating, thinking twice before spending, turning down invitations, avoiding small joys. Not because I had nothing, I didn't feel secure enough to enjoy what I had. That's when I realized something important. I had spent my whole life earning money, but I never learned how to manage it in retirement. One of my biggest mistakes? I took my Social Security too early. At the time, it felt like the right move. I was tired. I wanted to enjoy life while I still could. But nobody explained what that decision really meant. That smaller monthly check, it follows you for life. You feel it even more. Another mistake? I kept most of my savings sitting still. I thought I was being responsible, safe, careful. But I didn't understand inflation. Year after year, my money was losing value. Quietly. Not enough to notice right away, but enough to change everything over time. And then came healthcare. That's the one thing that catches almost everyone off guard. Medicare helps, but it doesn't cover everything. Prescriptions, unexpected treatments, out-of-pocket costs. They add up faster than you think. And if you're not prepared, they can eat through your savings. I've seen it happen to friends. People who worked just as hard as I did, saved just like I did. But one health issue changed everything. And then there's something people don't talk about enough: debt. I was lucky, I didn't carry much. But many people today enter retirement with credit cards, loans, even mortgages. And when your income is fixed, debt becomes heavier, much heavier. But here's the truth I want you to understand. None of these problems happen all at once. They build slowly. A decision here, a delay there, an assumption that everything will work out. Until one day, you feel the weight of all of it. Now at 90, I've had time to reflect. Not with regret, but with clarity. If I could go back, I wouldn't just work harder. I would learn sooner. Here's what I would do differently. I would understand Social Security before making a decision. Time matters more than most people realize. I would make sure my money continues to grow, even a little. Not risky, just enough to keep up with reality. I would plan for healthcare like it's a certainty, not a possibility, because it is. I would avoid entering retirement with debt, because freedom and debt don't go together. And most importantly, I would stop assuming things will figure themselves out, because they don't. The hardest part of all this isn't the numbers. It's the feeling, that quiet stress. It follows you into your daily life. The hesitation, the second guessing, the constant calculation. That's what changes your retirement. Not a market crash, not a single bad decision, but the accumulation of things you didn't fully understand. So if you're watching this and you still have time, please don't ignore this. Don't wait until retirement to think about retirement. Learn how your money works. Ask questions. Make small adjustments now, because later, those small adjustments become big differences. One day, your income will stop growing. That's reality. But your life won't. And when that moment comes, you don't want to feel restricted. You want to feel ready. Because in the end, financial security isn't about how much you have. It's about how well you understand what you have. And trust me, that understanding can change everything.